Now you're going to start.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Eric and welcome aboard of the PR Writer project here at Revelo. I'm Eric, I'm the project lead for this front. I'm going to address here some points of the project, how to get started, how to set up your machine, what this project is about, get all your doubts by the end of the presentation, okay? Uh, I think Sol already mentioned it, that you will be added to a Slack channel where we also use it to get out on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Uh, so as I was talking, I'm the project lead. We have a tech lead also that will take our doubts. There's Ricardo Russo. I don't know if he's online right now, but he will be on the Slack channel. He'll be available to you. Okay. So please use the Slack channels because there's a lot of people in this project. Chances are that your doubt somebody already had, and we can all help each other. Okay. So what's the PR writer about? The PR writer about the PR writer project is about uh, guiding models through a pull request. So this project, we are not coding ourselves. We are guiding the models to do so. So they can generate a pull request that is production ready. Okay, and production ready, it's a code that has tests that are using best practices. There are not adding any bugs to the main project. Okay, so this is basically the point. Okay, of this project. Throughout this presentation, I'll get in details into more of them. I'll show you a documentation that we have that are the guidelines of this project that will be available to you. Also, when this presentation will end, okay. Talking about a little bit uh, the time that you will take to take each task. Uh, on average, every task takes 3 to 4 hours. Okay, we have a little more time for any problem that may appear, but it usually takes about 3 to 4 hours. So I'll now share my screen with you so like we can talk about how to set up your environment. Just a moment. Okay. Um, okay, you'll see my screen now. So this is the Revelo platform that you'll be using to take your tasks. I'm already logged in. You will log in with your email, your Gmail, Hotmail, whatever you choose here at Revelo. And you will be added to a project. Here I have a couple more options, but you will have this attempt type task attempt, PR write project, and the when you need to start the task. You click here on view details. This will be a couple of information. These are the guidelines that I was talking about, which we will follow throughout this presentation. Okay, they'll be available to you. You can see it in another tab if you like. So this guideline, he has everything you need to know about this project are here. Okay, we'll take, for example, how to set up your machine. That will be our first step. Okay, so here we require you to use the tmux that the HI5 will use it to run its model trajectories. You have to have the VS Code installed. And one important note, this your VS Code have to be available using the code command. Here we teach you how. So like in your command line, you can call it code and a directory on your machine, and we will open it. So these are the basic steps, and I will have to install the code HI5, which is the model that we are training here to human feedback. So here in the guide, there's this link.
Sir, there is no any screen showing here.
You guys can see my screen?
No, sir.
You can see
Yes,
it.
I
At
can
my
see it.
side, I can see it.
Oh, okay,
Because yeah,
perfect. So getting back here to the installing the Cloud HA file. So you click on this link. They're here on the guidelines. You have to use your Revelo expert email. Okay. After this presentation, also will all of you add all of you in the platform so you can receive the code that I will show you now. I'm here going to use my Revelo email. So what has happened? Anthropic will send you a code to your email. Okay, so let me get this code here in another screen. One important note, not always this code works at first. So if that happens, just try to log in again. It's not a problem. Okay. Okay, you see that happened. I received the new code. Okay, now I'm logged in. So here are all the types of code that you have to download for this task. Please select the right one for your platform. Okay. In the guidelines, we have also after you download the correct one, okay, you have to move it to any directory on your machine, and you have to make it executable because we are going to use this as a terminal command. And also in our guidelines, you have how to do this. Okay. For those of you who are using Windows, we strongly advise you to use WSL. Here's also how to do it. Sometimes there's another documentation to install the code on the Windows. Okay. So also here. And as we said previously, this uses the Tmux terminal to attach your sessions. You're going to see it later. But Tmux has a problem with scrolling sometimes. So all you have to do is set this configuration up so you can scroll the terminal and see what the models are thinking. So when everything this is ready, you are ready to begin your task. So what's the first step that you have to do is to select your code base. Because remember, what's the PRI project about? Guide the models to fix real world issues through a production ready PR. So we prepare for you a couple of pre-selected issues and code bases that are available on this link. It's already here. Okay, so you can grab any of the issues here to make your task. As this is a presentation, I'm going to use one that's already used. So don't do that. Just you can, for example, select this one, but I'm going to select this one for presentation purposes. Uh, One important note here, uh, these pre-selected issues are generated automatically. So sometimes they have false positive. There are repos that do not meet our requirements. So get to know what is familiar analyze if the repo is meeting all requirements like 200 stars on GitHub. It has to have more than 200 stars. Okay, and here a couple of more. Also, we have a guideline here on how to find code bases or issues. Okay, so getting back here to the pre-selected issues, Okay, I'm going to take this one, but I'll explain here to, I think it will be better for you to see. Here we have the repo, the issue link, the issue title. You can see the comments here, informations. What is important on when you are selecting an issue? Okay, you have to see, well, the title and the description. Okay, the description cannot have anything that is like an image, a link to another website. All the information for the model to solve the issue must be on the description. Why? Because that are going to be our first prompt that I'm going to show you later. Okay. One thing to be in mind of is how many files are being changed in this issue. Okay, so we take it like more than 4. It's okay for you to have an issue for the models to solve it. Okay, here we give you basic information about this. Okay, so this column is also important. This is the base SNH of the repo. What this means? This is the commit on the repo that is before the solution of this issue. Because if you take a look here, these are all issues. They're all resolved. Okay, so our point is to see if the model can solve this issue or not. So we have to rewind the project, because when you have a Git clone, we'll have to rewind the project to the state where the issue was occurring. So this is what the base SNH means, is this comment that you have to use it. Okay. So we select our code name. Now we have to prepare our code base on our machine. Okay. So once you selected your issue on the platform, you have to start the task. When you start a task, you have to share your location. This is important for the platform to work. Give us some information about payments. And we start our task. So we have a couple of questions we have to answer. Okay, here it is. Yes, code HFI. You're going to be to the next block. So here, what's the repo that I'm selecting? It's going to be this one. Scrappy. All of our code base now is in Python, so please always leave this one marked, never mark JavaScript or TypeScript. This is an existing issue. Okay, why? Because it already exists in the repo as a selected issue. Okay, of the here on GitHub. Sorry. And now you have to put the link to the actual issue. Why this step is very important? This is what makes you pin the issue in the develop platform. What that means? It makes absolutely certain that no one else will use that issue for their task. So once you select the issue, get here on the platform and make all these definitions and click on submit. However, how this is a presentation and I'm using an already used issue, I'm going to change this number, okay, for testing purpose. Never do that. We validate everything that you put on the platform when we are reviewing our tasks. So please make everything correct. So I pinned the issue, and now I have to prepare the code base. Here for this repo, we have to use a Docker file, okay, to ensure that we can run all the tests, that everything is working, and it's important for you to create this. These are everything is also told here. We have another step here on the guidelines that make you through this, okay, that I'm showing here now. But first, let's create the Docker file. If you can create Docker file, okay, we have a library here if you like to use it, but you can create your own. What we advise here is for you to use the simpler one, okay, the simpler the better. So I'm going to take this here. Scrappy. The version, if you don't know it, you can leave it blank, it's not a problem. And now we have to prepare the code base to set up the first commit of the task. What does this mean? Now we are going to come here to our terminal. I already git clone the project. You can see here. Okay. Now, as I said, we have to revert the repo to the point where the bug exists, right? So git out. I'm going to take the base SNH, which is this one. I'm just going to copy on another text here to avoid any issues. Okay. Okay. Now we are with the comments from that time. You see here, 2018. Okay. Now we're going to go to VS Code. We are going, as I said, we are going to create the Docker file. I'll get what I put here on the platform. One important thing to do here is we have to guarantee that the project of this project has a README that tells us what's the requirements, how to install the dependencies, how to run the tests. So if the project doesn't have a README with this information, you have to create one. If it's already existing one, but it doesn't have this information, you can add it, can update it. I'm going to take here an example so you can go a little faster, but basically that is it. Okay, so I can see a very simple one. You can use it. Okay, and once we all did that, we have to set up our task for the models to begin. So after that, what we have to do, let me get back here to this, setting up the initial repository. All your comments that you make here have to use this email and this name. Okay, it's anonymized, so I'm going to use here my terminal. Sorry. Okay. And now that I have a Docker file and I have fixed the README, there's one more thing to do. That's to pin the dependencies. We have to make sure that when running Docker or anything other in the project, any libraries will be updated. So if the project doesn't have a requirements file or any file that will lock in the dependencies, we have to create one. You have to use p3s for this. So you have to change like okay and make the correct changes. All right, is important. And once you all have done that, I will continue here on this terminal. We have to. I'm going to git add everything that I changed. And I'm going to make the initial comment. Okay, so and that done, I can see here, I can get my SNH and put it on the platform and submit. So now we are ready to start with the models. So I'm going to go back to here. One important thing that you can see here and how you are expected to prompt the model, okay? We have some do's and don'ts about AI usage. The project has a strong AI detection, okay? So please, if you are in doubt, if you can use it or not, AI, don't. If it's not here on the do's, don't use it. So now we'll interact with the model for the first time. We will start the code HI file. So let me clear here and code HI file. PS code. What happens here? First, we'll be asked to log in. I couldn't show you because it's logged on my other screen here, but we will be asked to log into Claude. If you're already logged in because you downloaded the Claude HFI program, you will be logging in automatically. Okay. So I'm just going to prepare here for you to see. So what did, sorry guys, I lost information here, just a moment. There's two important informations that are appearing in this terminal. That's why I started again. You see that here it generated two trajectories for each model, the model A and model B. So we have to attach the main Claude HFI terminal, which is this one we are using, to the other models. So we have to start here. You attach the session and model B. through the session. Okay. What's more important about this screen? This UUID here. This is what we called the anthropic UUID. Why it's important? It's how we identify all your work inside Revelo platform. Also, you can see what's happening when you generated your final tar. So once you have this number, you can put it here. Please save it, this number, if not on the platform, on a text file, anywhere you want, but it's very important for you to save this file. Here on the guidelines, we also, the Cloud HA file asks us to enter the interface code that you are using, and now it's CC agentic coding. I'm going to ask Eric, how you know that? It's on the guidelines, okay? It's here, the same screen that I'm showing you guys. So now we're starting to do our first prompt. Important note, oh Eric, I forgot to save my UUID, I didn't know, I simply forgot. You can find in here, okay? It's the same. So once you enter the terminal, maybe you lost this information on the terminal, you still can find it here inside the code terminal, okay? So now we're going to our first prompt. As I mentioned, the first prompt is the issue title. I'm going to save it in another screen here, and the description. And that's it. No more, no less. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to paste it. And now we're going to start the model trajectory to see how they will handle the issue. Now they are started thinking. You can see here a lot of things. And now what you have to do while the models are thinking, you have to come here to the platform and you have to pause the task. Why are we pausing the task? Because now we are not doing any actual work. All we have to do is wait for the models to solve the issue, okay? This can take a few minutes or about an hour, so that's why. And, well, you can do whatever you like in the meanwhile, okay? What happens if the code, I return after an hour and he's still thinking, he didn't solve anything, he didn't make any change? We mark this as an error, okay? I will resume here so for you to see. You can, when you finish your task, you have to select a few other options here. They'll get more details later. You have to, the model took over an hour. You explain what happened, and you attach a few screenshots for us to see what it really happened. Okay, so that's not a problem. An important note here: if the models respond, you get prompted, but didn't get right on the first time, but get on a second, third, you have many interactions, okay? But you passed 6 interactions. We consider it that the model failed, okay? So you mark this option, type what happens, attach the screenshot. What is a situation where the model goes right? Well, you have to make about 3 to 6 iterations maximum, okay? If doing all of this, the model solve the issue, make the comment in 2 interactions, we consider the issue too easy and you have to choose another one, okay? So I have to, if I choose another one, I have to submit this, I have all my time lost. No, you don't. All you have to do is come out here and change the issues, dissolve editing. You can click here and you choose another issue and you carry on, okay? And there's another option. That's when the model responds something unexpected as an API error, as some problems. So you can also select these options. And again, tell us what went wrong, give us a few screenshots. So the models are still thinking. Let's grab here. I will talk about these other two fields. Yeah. You saw that on our first interaction when we started the model, we had to save the Anthropic UUID. Okay. Most of the time, we'll have only one Anthropic UUID. So why do we have this two fields? Sometimes the model can give you a message about low context, or sometimes it crashes or computer crashes, something crashes. You can resume your previous session. Okay, if you're using the Tmux, this is why it's important to install Tmux and to follow this step here. Okay, so you can resume your previous session. And when you start Claude again on this new session, it will generate you a new UUID. So how do we know that you have maybe have two or three sessions? You save the new UUID here. Okay, so it's important every time you get a new UUID from Claude HFI to save it for this form here. So they are already thinking. I'll stop it here. Okay. So this is the part while the models are thinking. I'm going to talk about a little more about the project. This is the part where it's most important of this project, is how we guide the model. So we expect you, not the first prompt, but the next prompt, for you to ask the models to make all the necessary changes, to commit all the files that are changing with reasonable commits that everyone can understand, and to make tests to make sure it didn't create anything, it uses best practice. After, in the end, all we're going to do is evaluate the models, so on how work their solution. If you're seeing here, now it changes because A finished and B finished. So we are going to see what change they made. They made the change in this file. They created a test. Here also, they make different changes. Okay. Now, once the model stops and we start to analyze this, now is the time for you to resume the task. So now that both models ended their work, we are going to analyze it to see which one was better. I'm not going to do here because that will take time. Make sure that the tests continue running, that all the tests that was passing in the beginning are passing now, including the one it created. But as we can see here, they didn't commit the changes. They just made the changes. They are here, but are not committed on the Git. So now we will evaluate the models. So you are going to evaluate the models on the Likert scale. For those who don't know what Likert scale is basically you are telling what's better, who's better, slightly better. So you have to choose. I'm going to tell here that A is better, B has better logic, name and clarity. You're going to choose based on your experience, and you're going to give the models the feedback on their work, which one was better, what we didn't do better. If you want to change previous selection here, you can go up and down your arrow keys on your keyboard, okay, and you can change it. It's not a problem, but your evaluation has to be aligned with the last questions that will be the overall situation, okay. B, I'm going to select the B, and this is part where you tell us what model A did good, what it didn't do good, and we expect here for you to uh, write a comprehensive evaluation of what they did. Okay, it's not like, oh, what did the pros? None. This is not acceptable. Okay, even if you prefer model B, model A did something good. So after all your evaluation, go model A created, had better naming conventions, changing the right files, etc. Okay, and what did they didn't do wrong? So model A didn't commit the files, the tests are failing, etc. That will be our evaluation. Okay, they're going to be model A and model B as well. Model B changed last files, made a more robust approach to the solution. I'll just fix grammar. Model B event changes. It changes more files than expected, etc. And then you have to give us an overall justification why you choose model A or model B. You're going to give us a comparison because model B has better uh, approach to the solution. Tests are working, and etc. So once you end it, you will submit your feedback. Okay. Now, what Claude is doing on the background, he will equalize both models here, okay, to make to the same modifications, and then you can start to um, prompt again, and then you start to work again. So hey, commit the changes, making small ones, describing each step of the solution. This is an example. So they will start again, everything, and once the model is thinking, come here and pause the task. Okay. So guys, it's basically this. Once the task is finished, I'm going to end here. Let us say that after this one, model A finish and commit the changes. You can see here, it's commit, model B also. Okay. We evaluate again. Let us say model B is better, better, better. Don't do like I'm doing here, okay, guys? Model A was slow. Model A commit without set user. Model B commit changes. As it will be took longer to finish. Model B is better. So submit your feedback, but you ended everything, okay? So we can finish close because once you are satisfied with the solution, once you did everything right, you click here on the platform and you have to upload the the tar file, the all the repo that are on your machine, all the changes. Okay. One thing I forgot, sorry. In this page, you have to put also the first prompt, your first interaction that you did with the model. Remember, first interaction is issue title and description only. And here we have, you have to update the tar file that I was talking about. And we can come back here to our terminal and do scrappy, scrappy. Oh, sorry. No, that's right. Oh, move final results to our notes. And we are going to get back here to the platform, upload our file. Sorry. And we'll click on submit. And that's it. I'm not going to click here because not this is going to get reviewed. So, and that's it. That's how you end a task. Okay. Um, Talking moreover about the guidelines, we have some frequent asked questions. Any doubt you have here, everything you can need about the project, it's here. Some couple of issues that we are seeing. The low context one that I told you earlier. Some other things, how the review process works. Everything is here for you to analyze. Okay. And that's it, guys. I'm going to just save from here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can look at you. Okay. Now I'm seeing that a lot of questions here on the chat. I was not looking at it. I will answer it as I can. Let me see. So there's a question here from Marak about the spreadsheet has already been taken. This spreadsheet is always being updated, so that's not a it's not a problem because you will have more issues to work on. It's almost on a daily basis. I cannot tell you about the periodicity, but it is. This recording will be sent to all of you, okay, on the Slack channel. Oh, I see that's all. That's it. You can have Docker for desktop, okay, Solomon, but well, we use it here on the command line. So what works better for you? Simon asked about running the tests. We advise all of you to run the test manually to see if everything's working, run with Docker, if that's the point of it. So yeah, you have to make sure that all the tests continue passing, all right? There, and well, there are a few, not exception, but if if the repository already have failing tests, depending on the quantity, you can keep up with those uh, test failings. Okay, but for example, if the repo have more failing tests than passing tests, I think it's better for you to look for another issue. Can you share the link for this page? Of course. Just give me a moment. Why set the README requirement communication? Oh, Kuram, I did create a Docker file. You have to create a Docker file, and it has to be on the setup commit. Okay, you have to do all of this.
I'm going to give you a little help here. Hi, everyone. I'm Gabs. I'll also be helping in this project. Ram, answering your question, the README and the requirements and the commit are for tooling reasons. So the agents that are going to be running, they don't run Docker. Docker is just to ensure that we have a reproducible task and that both the reviewers and the client can reproduce your code and check if everything is okay. So that's why you make the Docker file, and the README and the requirement spinning is for the model to be able to run it properly. Okay?
Let's see. Hey, so this how many tasks it work like to have a big. Well, Natalie, for those who are starting, okay, we have something called a learning curve. So you get one task at a time. That's to make sure that you understand the project, okay? You have 3 tasks on the learning curve. If you get a task right, you get out of the learning curve, and then you will be able to get like more. It will be always available to you, but you'll make one task at a time. So uh, will be there as many tasks that you can do it, and they are available in the spreadsheets after the learning curve. So if not any question, I'll pass the word to Saul that will explain a little bit what I just talked about.
Exactly. Thanks, Eric. So let me share my screen. Oh, do you want to answer that question, Eric, first?
Yes, Eduardo. When a task is labeled as simple, what did you have to do? All I had to do is change the information in the platform. Let me share my screen again. So just a moment.
Sure, no problem.
It will be easier. If throughout the code base preparation you saw the issues too simple, you can just go here in the same page that you put all the information. You can always go back and edit the information. So you just come here. Oh, I select another issue in the code base. I come here, I change it here, save it. That's all you have to do. You don't lost time. So that is the stop it. And Simon has raised a hand. One.
Yeah, Simon asked a question here. How do we make sure that multiple people are not working on the same task we're doing?
Okay.
So that's why you need to lock up your issue as soon as possible. Like as soon as you find it, you go to the platform and you lock it up. Then it will not be available for other labelers. For example, if you lock an issue and a labeler 5 seconds later tries to submit that same issue, they will be blocked. They won't be able to submit. Okay, that's why it's the second step of the task. It's before you do the whole setup so that you don't lose time.
It's the same screen that was showing. That's where you pin when you lock the issue with you.
Yeah, and last question here before we pass the baton to Saul. How do we verify if Claude did solve the problem properly? Yeah, you run the project, you run the tests, you check the code. You are a PR reviewer, so you need to make sure that the code that is going into production is good to go. So yeah, that's it. Okay, Saul, there you go.
Thanks, everyone. Let me share my screen just 1 second. Can you see it now?
No, so didn't appear.
Sorry. Now, can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, I can see you.
Great. So, as Eric mentioned, we will have a first part that is called the learning curve. This stage of the project is at the beginning because we want you to improve the quality of the tasks. We know that at the beginning you can be a little bit lost with so many things, so that's why we have created this stage for you to do. No worries, I will explain this in a bit, very detailed, but I just wanted to introduce all the bonus that you can get. So the first part is the learning curve. Then we will have a straight bonus. One of you asked how many tasks you can complete, as much as you can right after the learning curve. And if we are going to reward all those people that can complete at least 1 task per day, getting an additional bonus. Okay? No worries, we will send a message once that you have completed the learning curve, so you can be aware of the month and everything. But it's a good thing that you are going to have a bonus just to complete 1 task per day. So, and also another thing that is important and that you need to understand is that you will be scored on the quality of each of your tasks. For example, if you complete tasks, you will receive an evaluation that will clarify if you met the expectation of the task, and that will be related to the payment. So let's start with the explanation of the learning curve, and then I'm going to continue with the quality. Okay? So as Eric mentioned, you are going to have to complete 1 task at the time during the first part or during the first stage of the project. Why? Because we want you to review the feedback that you will get, and with that feedback and that information that you will get, that will be very detailed, you will be able to improve the next task. So you will have a few chances to do that. The first task, for example, if you completed the first task and you get a rejection, no worries, it is expected because we know that it can be complicated at the beginning. That's why you can have another chance to complete the second task. If, for example, even though the feedback that you received that was very detailed and it wasn't even, you weren't even able to improve enough the task that you will get a below expectation, you will have a third task to improve it. So if in the third task you get an above expectations and meet expectations, in those cases, you will be able to receive these 2 first tasks at the 100%. So you will receive your payment for these 2 tasks. But in those cases that you get another rejection, then you won't, and you will be removed from the project. Okay? So that's why the most important thing here is the quality. The most important thing is that you understand the feedback. You will have the project channel to ask questions, and also you will have work sessions where you can participate with the project leaders and ask questions there, and even show how to solve a task, all the issues that you are facing, and if you even have some questions about a specific feedback that you have presented, okay? So what is the most important thing about the learning curve is that you improve, okay? So don't worry about the first task if you got a bad result, because it can happen. So the most important thing is that you can improve. So talking about the scores that I already mentioned a little bit, you will get a score for each task that you complete. If, for example, you did really good, in those cases, you will get an above expectations. And in those cases, you will be paid for the 20% additional on the rate of your pay, okay? And if you get a meet expectation, it means that you did everything correct and with some small details that could be better. In those cases, you will be paid with the standard rate. And if you get at the below expectation, it means that you had a lot of things that could be better in your task. You will receive a very detailed feedback on that. So that's why it is good that you can read that and improve it. In those cases, you will receive it a 50% deduction of your payment, okay? And in those cases that you get a rejection, it means that the client or us cannot work with any of the information that you have completed in the task. In those cases, it won't be paid, okay? So at the beginning, remember, the most important thing is to improve and try to give a good quality on the task. And then when you have passed the learning curve, then you can work in the task that you can, okay? You also will have the work sessions that I mentioned. These work sessions are going to happen once or 2 or 3 times a week. Usually, you can ask questions, share your screen, and also you can share some questions in the project channel in Slack, because we know that sometimes it can be a little bit hard to join a meeting, okay? Do you have any questions right now? If not, no worries. We will be sharing everything that we have mentioned in this call in the Slack channel. Remember, the most important thing right now is that you check that your email, that you are invited to the Slack channel, and that you will be added to a project channel. I'm checking every day, every hour that you are already there, but just in case that you aren't, please send me an email so I can double check and send you the invitation again. Okay? And I'll be adding you to the project platform in just 1 second. Once that we finish this call, I will be adding you there. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome to Revelo again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Happy tasking. See you around.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks, Archie.